Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be once again looking at the slow-moving car crash that is the live-action Snow White film. We're going to be looking at another round of controversy plaguing this film and the desperate last-minute damage control that Disney is doing to try to salvage something out of this mess, which, even by conservative estimates, some are predicting could cost Disney at least $100 million. So I think it's very safe to say people just aren't impressed by this film at all. Okay, nobody's impressed by Off-White and the 7 DEI hires. Everything about this film is sparking controversy, especially when it comes to the casting. Everyone knows Rachel Zegler has been an absolute disaster as the role of Snow White. She has quickly become one of the most insufferable people in all of Hollywood, which is really saying something. And then you have even the dwarfs, for example, which Disney in their infinite wisdom thought it would be very woke and progressive out of fear of offending people with dwarfism to remove 7 job opportunities from actors with dwarfism. Yeah, that worked really well. They instead replaced it with awful looking CGI. But everything about this film is just mired in controversy and people are just not having it. This is the original teaser trailer from back about a half a year ago. You can see it has now crossed 1.5 million dislikes on YouTube, arguably making it the most hated movie promotion of all time on YouTube. Now, with this in mind, there's a lot of desperation going on. This film is set to come out in about a month, and the box office predictions are looking absolutely terrible. So, Disney Snow White box office projections look grim as audience apathy sets in. Rachel Zegler film shaping up to be a major disaster for Disney. With Disney's live-action Snow White remake set to hit theaters on March 21st, early box office projections are painting a bleak picture. Industry tracker Quorum reports that the film is on track for a $63 to $70 million domestic opening weekend, with other sources predicting $65 million. While this would mark the highest domestic opening of Rachel Zegler's career, which is not saying much, surpassing her $44.6 million debut in The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, it's a far cry from the heights of Disney's previous blockbusters. You can see these numbers look even worse when compared to the other Disney live-action remakes like The Little Mermaid, which managed to get $95.6 million domestically over 3 days and was still considered a financial disappointment. Then you have Disney's The Lion King from 2019, which debuted with nearly $200 million. Beauty and the Beast from 2017, which earned $174 million. Yeah, those films and some of the ones just listed like The Little Mermaid were considered financial disappointments, and they're still light years ahead of the predictions for Snow White. Now, the main issue with Snow White, this live-action film, is obvious. It's Rachel Zegler. Okay, she has been a one-man wrecking crew for this film and Disney, doing everything in her power to constantly put herself into controversy by making it very clear she has no respect for the source material, she has no respect for this character, and she has no respect for fans and customers who might be interested in checking out this new film. Now, the latest desperate PR spin here involves Rachel Zegler. This is peak desperation with about a month until release of this film. So you can see the headline here. Snow White star Rachel Zegler does complete 180. Now says backlash against her casting was the result of fan passion rather than misogyny. What an honor to be able to be a part of something that people are so passionate about. My God, is Disney nervous. They clearly are very, very nervous about this film, and they're trying everything in their power. They're basically saying, forget about what Rachel Zegler's been saying for years. All of the cries for attention, the blaming of fans, the besmirching of fans and critics as misogynists and racists and all these things. She's actually having a nice time with you guys, bouncing off of the passion we all have for this film, which is a big load of crap. But let's see what she had to say here. So, whether due to her own genuine development or a stern talking to from the House of Mouse, star Rachel Zegler has completely reversed course on her previous assertion that the backlash against her casting as the titular lead of Disney's upcoming live-action Snow White was based wholly on Misogyny, with the actress now claiming that the disappointed fans she wrote off were actually just passionate about something, a piece of art that they truly loved. So nobody's going to forget this Variety interview she did only a few months ago, where she basically blamed all of this stuff on toxic fans and the fact that she was a woman. And she also related this to the upcoming election in the United States, basically saying there's this movement of all these sexist people who don't like her, which this whole thing's very odd that people would be mad about Rachel Zegler being casted as Snow White, because the character is already female and people love the original character. So like, why would people in a sexist manner be targeting Rachel Zegler because she's a woman? It's a role that was supposed to be for a woman. People don't like her for this role because she's obnoxious. Like I said, she's become one of the most pretentious and insufferable people in Hollywood, which is really saying something, okay? But let's continue on in this article. So, Zegler offered her new read of events while speaking to Vogue Mexico's interviewer here for their upcoming March 2025 issue, and when she was asked by her host as to what exactly she hopes audiences to really perceive about her live-action take on the animated classic, Zegler asserted it's really important for audiences to know that Disney has found this beautiful, delicate balance between taking the animated classic that everyone knows and loves from 1937 and at the same time introducing it to this new generation. Her superpower is her heart. There's no supernatural power that Snow White possesses beyond her love for humanity, for all living creatures, and her fundamental belief that there's goodness in everything, said the actress. That's something I really think the world could use more of. Yeah, starting with you, of course. And of course, down here, she's talking about this. From there, Zegler was then pressed for her current thoughts on the aforementioned backlash to her casting, to which she declared, I interpret people's feelings about this film as passion for it, and what an honor to be able to be a part of something that people are so passionate about. We're not always going to have the same feelings as everyone around us, and all we can do is give our best. Of course, she knows about not having the same feelings and opinions as those around her. After the election results in November, she made a series of posts basically wishing no moment of peace upon anyone who voted for Donald Trump, and immediately was chastised by Disney and forced to take, basically roll all of that back because, alienating the majority of your domestic audience is probably not the best course of action if you're trying to make money on this film. But anyways, you saw this right here, all these comments about the passionate fans and also respecting that original story. I mean, that is a stark contrast to her comments from a couple years ago that really opened up the floodgates to all the controversy surrounding this film. Let's not forget the kinds of things she has been saying about this original story she supposedly respects so much.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah. Weird.
Super weird. So
unreal. Literally unreal. But anyways, there's some more desperation. I told you this is going to be a very big PR spin here, and the latest one is now trying to capitalize on nostalgia. Because wow, who would have thought if you're going to make a live action adaptation of a classic animated film, you might want to capitalize on nostalgia. So Disney shifts Snow White marketing strategy to include clips from the original 1938 animated movie, but fans aren't buying it. So what they're talking about here is this post on the official Walt Disney Studios account here on Twitter, where they're basically meshing together old and new, as you'll see right here. And it continues on and continues on, right? You get the point. They're trying to contrast the original with the new film, and they're trying to say like, oh, we're still at our roots here. Well, not really. I think everyone watching this knows that they have not respected anything about the original film, and you're the head leading the charge here, Rachel Zegler, has completely dismissed this. And now, with 1 month to go, they're trying to capitalize on the nostalgia of the original film. And yeah, just a little bit too late. And also, if they claim to respect the original film so much, if you go to the hidden replies on pretty much any post on the main Disney account, you'll find stuff like this. Why are you hiding this GIF from the animated film? This is not even like insulting anyone. So clearly you don't have much respect for this. They don't even want to see this. And really the account running this, or the person running this account for Disney, is really dropping the ball. You go to the hidden replies, you'll find things that make absolutely no sense, including posts that are agreeing with whatever Disney is putting out there and having a positive message, and still getting hidden by Disney. Now, of course, there was another round of a preview for this film released on the official Disney account. And as you can see, this recent PR spin and round of damage control, it ain't working. I mean, just look at the like-dislike ratio on this. 3.6 thousand likes versus 20,000 dislikes. And again, the apathy is the really interesting thing. It's not just the dislike ratio, it's the fact that this only has 162,000 views in 5 days. This is with 1 month to go, and they can barely crack 100,000 views on a promotional piece like this. Not looking good for them. Now, there's another little round of drama here. A lot of people have been making memes pretty much since day one about Snow White's and also the evil queen here, and how basically they did a really weird job casting them. But there's some weird drama involving this recently, and you can see this post right here with some new official poster here. And someone did an edit of this, right? They did an edit right here. And then, apparently, Rachel Zegler posted this edited one onto Instagram, where she removed Gal Gadot from the frame. She literally can't do anything right. It's actually unbelievable at this point that Rachel Zegler is even allowed to have access to social media when she's doing stuff like this every single time she makes any sort of an online posting. This is a terrible look. No idea why she thought this was a good idea, but then again, it's Rachel Zegler. And also, as I was searching for some of the related trailers on this film, I also noticed this one from the Japanese Disney account, and you can see Snow White, Mr. Worldwide when it comes to getting dislikes. Even on the Japanese version of the sneak peek trailers, getting 2,800 likes versus 32,000 dislikes. It is clear that there's one thing the entire world can agree on right now, and that is that this live-action adaptation of Snow White sucks, and people are just not excited for it, and the apathy is really setting in. But for now, that's going to do it for the latest round of controversy involving this film. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.